Hey everyone, today we'll be going along with Chloe into the field as she shows us how to collect some phenology data on our ʻōhiʻa trees.
Aloha, o Chloe Martins kili'i ho'omalu ko'u inoa Hawaiʻi. Noho au I hilo, a ka no kaimu mai au. Aloha, my name is Chloe Martins kili'i ho'omalu. I live in Hilo, but I am from Kaimu. Many of the people I get to work with and you guys, I grew up outdoors. Whether that was down at the beach, up in the mountains, or helping my dad out in the yard. We're always outdoors, so that's where I always felt comfortable being. So from a young age, I didn't really know that I wanted to be in conservation, but I knew I wanted to be outdoors no matter what. It wasn't until high school where I realized that conservation is what I wanted to pursue. And right around the time I graduated is when ROD was becoming more prevalent and people started noticing more cases throughout Hawaii. So that kind of pushed me into being a conservationist in the forest. Once I graduated high school, I went to UH Hilo and got a degree in environmental science and a certificate in beekeeping. The two go really well together because bees are pollinators and they help pollinate a lot of our native trees, since some of our endemic or indigenous insects have now passed, or even our birds. Fast forward to now, I'm a kupu member serving with the Conservation Leadership Development Program at the USDA Forest Service. I am currently working on a ROD project. This project gives me the opportunity to give back to our forests and potentially restore our forests so that our native plants and animals will have a habitat to continue to thrive in. Aloha mai kākou. Today we are alongside Saddle Road at the Kaumana Trail. We will be looking at ʻōhiʻa lehua and its phenology. But first, before we enter the forest, let's clean our shoes to prevent the spread of ROD. Spray your shoes with at least 70% alcohol and scrub off any dirt or seeds from your shoes. Did everybody clean their shoes? Okay, let's go. Throughout this hike, I will be sharing 11 phenology phases that you can encounter while looking at ʻōhiʻa. The first phenology phase is ʻōpuʻu lehua, or flower buds of the ʻōhiʻa. The second phenology phase is mohala, or blooming of the lehua. The third phenology phase is hopoi, or the lehua blossom. The fourth phase is kukuna, and it happens when lehua loses its petals or stamen and only the pistils remain. The fifth phase is huaʻopio, and by now the pistils have fallen off and the fruit is maturing. The sixth phase is hua. The fruit has ripened and you can tell by its brown color or lines forming on top of it. The seventh phase is ano. The fruit have fully ripened and the seeds are bursting out. The eighth phase is huahakahaka. By now the seeds have dispersed and all is left is dried seed pods. The ninth phase is mu'o, or breaking leaf buds. The 10th phase is liko, or young leaves. The last phenology phase that you can see if you're super quiet is ke'ano o kamanu, or bird activity. Now's your chance to practice identifying the phenology. For your data sheets, you'll be focusing on mu'o, breaking leaf buds, young leaves or liko, opu'ulehua or flower buds, hopoi, open flowers, hua o pio, unopened fruits, and ke'ano o kamanu, or bird activity. We will be collecting data from 3 points of view of one tree. Be sure to record your school or organization, the grade you're in, your instructor, the members of your group, the date, where you're at, what the weather looks like, and any other comments you have. At view A, I seen some mu'o or breaking leaf buds. I did not see a lot I actually didn't see any young leaves, so I'm going to say no and 0%. Flower buds, I can see some, so I'll circle yes. Hopoi flowers, I can see some, yes, and I see 3 total from this view, so I'll write 3. And unopened fruit, I can see a few clusters, so I'll circle yes. And no bird activity. At view B, I don't really see too much going on, so let's go through the list. I do not see any breaking leaf buds, so no. Young leaves, I see some, so I'll circle yes, and it's not a lot, so I'm only gonna put 5%. It may be even less than this, but just take your best guess when you look at when you make these percentages. I do not see any flower buds at this view, so no. Open flowers, I only see 1, so yes and 1. Unopened fruit, I can see 4 clusters, so yes, and no bird activity. For view C, I see some breaking leaf buds, yes. I see some young leaves, yes, and I want to say it's about 15%. Flower buds, I see some, so I'll circle yes. Some hopoi, there's 1, but it's kind of losing its petals already, but I'll still include it. So 1 flower. And I see unopened fruit, and again, no bird activity. Okay, so for tree averages, we'll just look up top here, and whatever there's most of, we'll circle that one. So breaking leaf buds, the main one is yes, so we'll circle yes. Young leaves, the main one is yes, and we have to do an average. So 0 plus 5 plus 15, add that up and then divide it by 3, and we get 6.6%. Flower buds, yes. Open flowers, yes, and we need the sum for this, so we add it all up and get 5. Unopened fruit, they're all yes, so we circle yes. And bird activity, they're all no, so we circle no. Now that you've had some practice and I showed you how to do the data sheet, it's your turn. I'll be showing you 3 images from a tree, and you can collect the data based off of the image, and we will go over it once you're done. And here are the results for trees 2 and 3. Don't be worried if you don't have the same exact results as I do. Next up, I'll be showing you folks how to collect seeds from ʻōhiʻa. Once your tree is tagged and phenology data is collected, and you see some seeds on top your tree, you can grab a Ziploc bag and label it with the tree ID, date, and your initials. If necessary, you can also add the tree location. To gather seeds, place the Ziploc around the seed pods or ʻano and shake the seeds into the bag. You want to do this as carefully as possible to ensure we don't break any branches of the tree. Make sure to mahalo the tree once the seeds are collected. Before you enter the forest, or even when you're walking through the forest, it's always important to kilo or observe your surroundings. This allows you to show your appreciation, respect, and your intentions of being in the forest to the forest. When you kilo, it's okay to get comfortable and give your full attention to the ʻāina by using your 6 senses. When you do, you'll notice a number of things. One could be whether or not you should enter the forest at this time. Another could be the different weather patterns. For example, is it going to be a sunny day, rainy day, or maybe the wind patterns are changing. For the rod resistance project, we use kilo to collect seeds from ʻōhiʻa. Through kilo and data collection, we can identify when an ʻōhiʻa is in the hua and ʻano phenology phase. Hua and ʻano are the phases we mainly focus on for seed collection and propagation. These are the only times we can collect for viable seeds. I'm very lucky to be helping with work related to ʻōhiʻa because all my life I've been able to see ʻōhiʻa from the coast up into the mountains. And it's a really cool way to give back. One of ʻōhiʻa's characteristics is to replenish our aquifers. Through the Resistance Project, I hope to propagate ʻōhiʻa that are genetically resistant to rod and use them to restore damaged ʻōhiʻa forests so that future generations can continue to enjoy our refreshing waters.